I want to acknowledge His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, President of the Republic of Kenya. And Your Excellency, we want to thank you for being a champion for the youth. We want to thank you for being a champion for a borderless Africa. Your voice on borderlessness has filled the young people of Africa with hope and belief that indeed free movement of people, of goods, of services, of ideas across the length and the breadth of Africa is possible. Let us give it up to His Excellency President William Ruto for that vision.
We are one people. It is because this continent needs to write its own narrative. For a long time, we've allowed others to write a narrative about us. And that is why, for a while, Africa has been described, has been known, has been profiled as a continent of conflict and disease and poverty. But let me tell you, Africa is much more. Africa in our own narrative. And I like what my brother there said. A Nigerian writer said, until the lion got to know how to write, all the stories glorified the hunter, because the hunter was the one who wrote the stories. So until Africa writes its own narrative, the narrative that is going to prevail is the narrative written by others that undermines our country. And therefore, we need to write our own narrative. To have allies on different platforms, both in Africa and outside Africa, saying we have a new narrative of Africa. From here, in September this year, at the AfricaYouthConnekt Summit, the whole world knew that there is a new Africa in the making, an Africa abundant with opportunity, an Africa with renewable energy resources. 60% of the world's renewable energy resources are in our continent. 40% of the world's mineral resources, including those that are necessary for energy transition, are in this continent. 65% of all arable and cultivated land necessary for smart agriculture is in this continent. The young people of this continent, we are the youngest continent in the world, with a great workforce and a great future market. That is not a continent we describe as a continent of conflict, disease, and poverty. That is a different continent. And that is why it is necessary for us to eliminate the borders, that create unnecessary protocols, that create unnecessary conflict.
Did you reduce something?
That create unnecessary hurdles to the huge opportunities that exist in our continent. And it is our intention. It is our intention as leaders of this continent that we convert our borders into bridges for our people to connect, that we convert our borders into stepping stones for the young people to live in a borderless, wireless continent. And that is the reason why Kenya was the first country to deposit instruments ratified for the Africa Continental Free Trade with itself, so that the young people of this country can innovate, can be creative, and make sure that no borders in our continent. I want to tell the young people of our continent that this is your moment. And you have the opportunity. It is also the reason why in my administration, one of the 5 pillars is a digital superhighway with a creative economy. Digital superhighway because I believe that through digitalization, through technology, we can override any border. We can go over any stumbling block. Today, I am happy that any creative in any part of Africa have the opportunity through technology, innovation, and the digital space to access their talent to the whole world. It is the reason why I am a great believer. It is the reason why I am a great champion of a visa-free Africa.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Fantastic.
Thank you very much. Africa Hoy! Your Excellency, our leader, our President, Dr. William Ruto, Prime Minister of Lesotho, and the youth of Africa, we are grateful that we have this big gathering here of the future of Africa. I have told our young people to take their rightful place in leadership, to lead in all fronts, to lead in business, to lead in innovation, to lead in creativity, and even to lead in politics. Only that you shouldn't take my seat as that of the president. You can take all the other seats. The office of the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya has a Department of Youth Affairs where we have the Honorable George Uri, coordinates youth activities, and our offices remain open. I was in Rwanda last year where we made a strong plea that this summit for the year 2023 be held here in Nairobi because of my belief and that of my Vice President William Ruto that our young people are the future. And even sitting here today, the President and I believe we don't achieve much. By just sitting here among young people, through the 2 processes of biology, diffusion and osmosis, we feel a little bit younger. I want to ask the youth of Africa not to sit at home and wait for anybody to come and call you to take your rightful place in society. You must go for it. You have the numbers. You are the largest population in Africa. What you want is what you should get and what you must get. But you must go for it. So my office continues to be open to engage the youth of this country, to interact with you, share ideas with you, and whatever that we need to do to unlock your potential and put you on the right path to success. We feel very respected as a country to host young people, people who have passion, who have energy, who have zeal to create innovation and to change the African continent. And I would like to challenge our youth from Africa. Please, take your rightful place in this continent. We want to urge you to take leadership in all spheres of influence, not just in matters of innovation, not just in the tech space. We want you to be the leaders in business. We want you to be the leaders in sports. We want you to be the leaders in the creative economy. And we also want you to take leadership in the political management of your respective countries, because you have what it takes, you have the knowledge, you have the energy, you have the passion, and you are the people we need to put Africa in the world map. With those very many remarks, let me request you to be outstanding and help me to usher in of Kenya, Dr. William Samoei Ruto. Your Excellency.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rick G. Again, with a lot of humility, let's take our seats. Asanteni sana. Excellencies, heads of state and government, and representatives of various delegations from across Africa, our youth from various countries, various counties in Kenya, participating in this AfricaYouthConnekt. African youth, woza. Ndugu wa Kenya, hamjambo? Mambo? On behalf of the people of Kenya, it is my pleasure and privilege to welcome you all to our capital city, Nairobi, a city defined by opportunity, creativity, technology, and I dare say, innovation. I stand here today to state my unwavering and total belief that Africa is in the midst of great change, a social and economic transformation that will rewrite the African narrative for this generation and for the next. Most importantly, a change, a renaissance, if you want, that will largely benefit the young people of our continent, who will provide the energy, the dynamism to sustain it and make it a new reality for us in Africa. I believe this change is coming because the old Africa, the one that was defined and defined itself by challenges, the one that glorified its problems and sought external solutions, that Africa is fading away. We are in a new process of creating a new Africa, one that is founded on a rock-solid belief in our own capacity, that is driven by our relentless pursuit of progress, and that is committed to developing solutions to obliterate the challenges that we all face. At the heart of this revitalization sits the most talented, innovative, and dynamic generation of Africans there has ever lived. A wireless generation, a borderless generation, and more importantly, a relentless generation that I see in front of me. I came here to interact with this remarkable group, to engage and listen to you all. We are, in this moment, living in an Africa where the only thing that matters is the creation of opportunity. This is the agenda. This is our objective. This is the conversation. The youth are at the center of this moment, this agenda, and at the center of this conversation. I invite you to believe, like I do, that Africa is changing, and to work hard to make sure that you participate in the definition and exploitation of opportunities that comes with this change. I invite you to focus your energies on the creation of opportunity, the identification of value, and the pursuit of prosperity. I invite you to stare down the challenges of today with your intelligence, creativity, and capacity
to innovate. I invite you to play a leading role in the transformation of Africa, to ensure your voice is heard, your effort is counted, and participation assured. As we gather for this 6th summit dubbed Youth Innovating a Borderless African Renaissance, I am convinced that we are at the dawn of a new Africa where innovation will cross boundaries, where creativity will flourish without constraints, and where the dreams of our young people will take root. I wish to thank the Republic of Rwanda and my brother, President Paul Kagame, for conceiving the AfricaYouthConnekt platform and for hosting 4 of the 5 editions of the summit. I echo the words of my brother, President Kagame, during the 5th edition in Kigali in October last year. The youth of Africa are the leaders of today, he said. They are the driving force behind our continent's transformation, the innovators who are reimagining our industries, the entrepreneurs who are creating jobs, and the activists who are advocating for a better future. End of quote. I join President Kagame in affirming the game-changing capacity of the African youth. This 6th edition of the AfricaYouthConnekt Africa Summit is premised on 7 key focus areas. I wish to briefly delve into each one of them. On sustainable green livelihoods, climate adaptation, and resilience. Our planet is in a crisis, and Africa is unfortunately bearing the brunt of the effects of climate change. This means that the continent must lead in the development of sustainable solutions, and that is what we crafted at the Africa Climate Summit here in September. The youth of Africa must become champions of environmental stewardship, fostering innovative practices that protect our planet while ensuring sustainable livelihoods for future generations. They must get into renewable energy, promoting sustainable agriculture, and developing climate-resilient infrastructure. This issue will define our future, and the young people of Africa cannot be on the margins of this very important conversation. In September this year, the governments of Kenya and the African Union co-hosted the inaugural Africa Climate Summit to discuss African-led sustainable solutions to global climate challenges under the theme, Driving Green Growth and Climate Finance Solutions for Africa and the World. This conference culminated in the Nairobi Declaration, an 11-point call to action with a rallying call to overhaul the global financial system to facilitate climate action financing. Kenya has developed a national climate change adaptation strategy, which is bolstering the country's resilience against the impacts of global warming. Now we are told it's no longer global warming, it's global boiling. Perhaps our key initiative is the 15 billion tree restoration project that will increase Kenya's forest cover from 12% to 30% by 2032. We have recruited a 4,000-strong youth green army to support this program initially. We are escalating this to a national 1 million youth green army for climate adaptation, a movement that must spread across the whole of Africa. On the second subject, renaissance of the African dream. Africa has a rich heritage of statesmen. Kwame Nkrumah, Julius Nyerere, Jomo Kenyatta, Thomas Sankara, Patrice Lumumba, and I could go on. Leaders who decades ago foresaw the unstoppable power of a united Africa. We must rekindle this dream because now more than ever, we are in a position to make it a reality. You are now the custodians of this dream, this idea envisaged by our forefathers. With the technology available to us today, it is very possible to build one African market. It is possible for an idea to rise in Nairobi, arrive in Lagos by midday, and Cape Town by sundown, and vice versa. It is possible to develop, respect, and appreciate our various cultures through social media. We can exchange ideas and learn from each other every day. This is what our forefathers wanted for us. Innovation is critical to achieving our development goals. To grow fast, we must deliberately focus on innovation to create fresh opportunities through the creation of new products, models, and partnerships. Africa's youth must drive this digital revolution. We must not be afraid of new ideas, especially when they are big. We must not hide our ideas because we do not know how to resource them. Kenya is a renowned trailblazer in innovation. We recently launched the first green digital innovation hub to accelerate new ideas and products. The Green Digital Innovation Hub targets foundational sectors such as agriculture, information and communication technologies, and energy, incorporating cutting-edge technology like automation, AI, sensor networks, cyber and IT security, cloud computing, and smart cities. The hub anticipates playing a pivotal role in leading the digital and green transition in Kenya and in our region. The global job market is increasingly shifting towards virtual and technology-driven roles, necessitating an alignment of our education system with this reality. To this end, the Ministry of Education is collaborating with global tech giant Google, the Ministry of ICT, and the digital economy in launching a comprehensive coding program in primary and secondary schools in Kenya nationwide. Google has generously offered to create a job pipeline for program participants, providing access to digital gigs with earning potential of up to $3,000 per month. In fact, I made a commitment to the people of Kenya that in the space of creating jobs, I am a great believer that the way to derive value out of the 650 billion shillings we spend in our education and training every year is to create opportunities and pathways where young people can monetize their talent, their knowledge, their education in different ways. It is the reason we have intentional, deliberate programs on how to create jobs. The trouble I run into sometimes is that there are people who are used to traditional jobs. They believe that a job is when you have a tie, you've gone to an office, and you have a boss sitting somewhere. They cannot fathom that you can be in a t-shirt, in your home, in your house, and you are working. In fact, we have a case in court, very interesting case in court in Kenya, where the court has ruled that if you are working in Nairobi for a company in the US, you must get a letter of appointment from the company in the US. Do you know how ridiculous that is? Are you interested in a letter of appointment, or are you interested in working and earning a salary? So we have a new model of jobs that our laws did not see. In fact, shortly we will be changing the law in Kenya so that it begins to appreciate that there are remote jobs. There are jobs that you do not have to walk into an office. What matters is that you're working. It doesn't matter whether you are wearing a suit. It doesn't matter whether your hair is combed. It matters that you know what you're doing, and you are doing it well. We must expand access to broadband connectivity and increase digital literacy for innovation to flourish. Kenya has launched an innovation master plan that charts a roadmap for long-term value creation and bets big on innovation dividends. Additionally, the government of Kenya has provided affordable access to technology through initiatives such as the Ajira Digital Skills Initiative, equipping young people with the digital skills necessary for success in the modern economy. We are, for those of you who are Kenyans, you know we are rolling out 100,000 kilometers of fiber optic backbone infrastructure that is targeting health facilities, schools, and the judiciary, among other public institutions. Alongside this, we are rolling out another 25,000 public Wi-Fi hotspots that are targeting markets, bus parks, and other public spaces. It should be possible for you to do business at the bus park because there is connectivity. E-commerce is the business of the future. We were going through the stalls here, and there are many innovations by many young people. I want to thank the Parliament of Kenya. They have just changed the law this week. In fact, I intend to sign it into law next week so that we can create 1,450 digital hubs in every ward in the Republic of Kenya. Again, to spur e-commerce, to create opportunities for creativity and the digital economy, and to also train the youth on digital technology and connecting them with jobs from around the world. To foster innovation, Kenya has established the Kenya National Innovation Agency, providing support and resources to startups and innovators. Kenya recently hosted the first ever Kenya Innovation Week 2023 Commonwealth Edition as a show of our commitment towards supporting innovation. By the way, on December 12th, just 2 days from today, and I invite all of you to come for our Jamhuri Day celebrations. We will be, in those celebrations, be unveiling winners of the inaugural Presidential Innovation Challenge as we celebrate Kenya's 60 years. On sustainable peace, security, and reconciliation, a peaceful and secure Africa is a prerequisite for the realization of sustainable development as outlined under the Global Sustainable Development Goals, and specifically SDG number 16, one that seeks to promote peaceful and inclusive societies for sustainable development, provide access to justice for all, and build effective, accountable, and inclusive institutions at all levels, calls for governments to empower the youth to become ambassadors of peace, cohesion, reconciliation, fostering dialogue, promoting tolerance, and building bridges of understanding across borders. As leaders we can support, and we should support, peace-building initiatives, promote civic education, and foster inter- and intra-faith dialogue. I will be asking for your permission shortly, because as you are aware, we have security challenges in Sudan. And today, we are having a conversation as leaders of IGAD, because there are 7 million young people and women and children today in refugee camps in Sudan. And it is our responsibility as Africans to tackle that problem. And so, leaders of IGAD, we will be meeting in a few hours to agree on how to stop the conflict, on how to get the young people in camps to come and help us develop our continent, to stop unnecessary loss of life and to get Africa going. We must teach our youth to see brotherhood and sisterhood in their peers across Africa, to realize that we have more in common than what divides us. Let me speak about enterprise development, the future of Africa's borderless commerce. And I'm happy I'm speaking this when my brother Wamkele is sitting here, our Secretary General for ACFTA. Entrepreneurship is the biggest creator of value and opportunity in the world. With their increasing levels of education and skills, Africa's youth can drive economic growth by embracing entrepreneurship. African governments, like Kenya, have to make supporting MSMEs a key priority, pairing financial support with advisory services. We must foster a conducive environment for entrepreneurship by providing young people with access to capital, mentorship, and opportunities to transform their ideas into thriving cross-border businesses. This can be achieved by simplifying business regulations, facilitating access to finance, and promoting regional economic integration. Kenya is championing entrepreneurship by creating an enabling environment for young people to start their own business. We have facilitated access to finance for young people through affirmative action funds, namely the Hustler Fund, Youth Enterprise Fund, WESO Fund, Women Enterprise Fund, and National Government Affirmative Action Fund. The Hustler Fund, for example, has benefited 21.7 million Kenyans across Kenya. Let me also say, we are lowering access and we are expanding new opportunities so that we can escalate to the next level of entrepreneurs. Let me also confirm, to further boost economic integration, Kenya fully supports the establishment of the African Continental Free Trade Area, which seeks to create a borderless market for African entrepreneurs and businesses. As I told you, Kenya was the first country to deposit instruments of ratification of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, and we have been its greatest champions because we believe that we need to eliminate processes of visa requirement for African countries as we strive to ensure the attainment of Africa's borderless commerce. I am very persuaded, and we all know what borderless countries have done. Look, the people who taught us about visas, because we didn't have visas, our good brothers from Europe came and taught us about visas. And I addressed the European Parliament a few weeks ago. A population of 450 million people, 27 countries. Today, the visas they told us, or they taught us, they themselves have abolished visas in 27 countries. They today are borderless. They are visaless. 450 million people. Explain to me why we should continue to have visas in our continent when those who taught us about visas have abandoned them. But even as we do this, I like what the second lady said. We must also mind about the mental, the sexual, the reproductive health of the young people of our continent, because they are our children. The total well-being of our youth is paramount for the attainment of our socio-economic aspirations. In this regard, we must invest in youth-friendly healthcare services, promotion of preventive measures, and address the vulnerabilities that exist around mental health, around sexual health, and around reproductive health. By expanding access to mental health services, providing comprehensive sexual education, and promoting gender equality in healthcare, among other initiatives, we will improve the complete wellness of our youth, allowing them the energy and freedom to focus on socio-economic development. Kenya has expanded access to mental health services through initiatives such as Mental Health Atlas of Kenya, ensuring that young people have access to the support they need. Additionally, Kenya has provided comprehensive sexual education through initiatives like the Life Skills Education Program, empowering young people to make informed decisions about their health. We also need to reimagine business for Africa's most important creative industry, the sports arena, and even culture. Africa's creative industry, sports, and culture are untapped reservoirs of immense potential. The potential contribution of sports and creative industries to investment and economic development is staggering. We must empower our young people to drive innovation, entrepreneurship, and job creation within these sectors. This includes investing in promoting cultural tourism and supporting the development of the creative industry. Kenya has invested in arts and culture infrastructure through the construction of a new stadium and theater, providing platforms for artists and performers to showcase their talent. Additionally, we have promoted cultural tourism through initiatives like the Magical Kenya Tourism Campaign, attracting visitors from around the world to experience the country's rich culture and heritage. Moreover, the government has supported the development of creative industries through initiatives like the Kenya Creative Industry Development Authority, providing resources and mentorship to creative entrepreneurs to expand their business and reach a global audience. In June this year, the government of Kenya launched the master plan to identify, recruit, nurture, reward, and monetize our creative, arts, and sport industries, dubbed Talanta Hela Initiative. The government has also unveiled the Talanta Hela app in October, where talented, creative, and sporty Kenyans can upload their videos to be assessed by a team of experts for linkage to nurturing, mentorship, and monetization. We are also committed to deploying sports as a magnet for integration, with this dream best exemplified by the successful East African Pamoja bid, under which Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania will be hosting the Africa Cup of Nations 2027, our continent's premier sporting event. As we explore these thematic areas, let us prioritize concrete actions and tangible outcomes. It is my expectation that this 6th edition of the YouthConnekt Africa Summit will develop a roadmap outlining solutions to the issues facing the African young people. To the young people of Africa here today, you inspire me and you also challenge me. Your energy is unbelievable. You are the embodiment of Africa's potential and resilience, the source of our continent's ingenuity, and the driving force behind our collective socio-economic and political development. Embrace your potential, unleash your creativity, and fearlessly pursue your dreams. The world is ready for what you have to offer. I take this opportunity to recognize the team of young people who organized this summit, made it a success, and launched the AfricaYouthConnekt Kenya chapter. Well done. I again say, well done. This is your time. This is your moment. Take the lead. You are what Africa needs. Aspiration number 6 of the Agenda 2063 of the Africa Union on an Africa whose development is people-driven, relying on the potential of the African people, especially its youth. You are welcome to stay and explore Nairobi, which is the only city in the world with a national park within its borders. Nairobi was rated by Lonely Planet the most forceful tourist platform globally. Nairobi was rated the best city to visit in 2023. So enjoy this city. Please visit the Bomas of Kenya. Find time and visit the national museums. There is a nightlife in Nairobi. Enjoy. I will, however, warn you that because we have a national park right in the city, we have a fence, so you don't need to worry. We have lions and many other dangerous animals, but we have a fence. However, occasionally, as you know, wild animals do, they break off the fence. So when you see a lion somewhere, when you are trying to do a morning walk, be careful. It is.
Yes. I'm thanking our partners, and we look forward to having a very robust engagement across the board. And it's not just going to be speech and talk and talk. This is also a summit where we will have some serious fun. Here in Nairobi, we call it sherehe. And so we are going to be speaking, conversing, and having some serious sherehe, some serious fun. We have a creative village where we'll be doing a lot of creative stuff. And we have the Hustler Bazaar, where we will be having a whole menu of business interaction, exhibitions, and lots of music and entertainment.